not the beginning of the story, nor is it the end. It is the new age of a cultural phenomenon. Today, the page turns. The storylines shift as all eyes return to the West, where a procession of field marshals stands ready to re-illustrate the term Conference of Quarterbacks. Powerful, moving, uncompromising. Rhythmic drum beats of differentiation echoed generation after generation by trailblazing characters, radical rivalries, and iconic moments.
The Bears have won! Oh my God!
It's a story that inspires us over and over again.
Knock it off your knee individually and stand up until you make that promise to yourself. Team on three. 1, 2, 3.
And now, from 10 to 12, there is strength in numbers as two preeminent universities join the ranks. On the ground, there is raw, unnerving talent, inexplicable blends of agility and electricity, game breakers in every region, every game.
He's into the end zone for the touchdown.
But this conference, this story, this chapter is not a one-sided affair.
A time to think, a time to question, a time to confront. Monday night, January 6, 2014, the black college football quarterback will make history. For the first time in the history of college football, two black quarterbacks will compete for the BCS College Football National Championship. A freshman and HEISMAN Trophy winner named Winston Jamison will start for Florida State, and Nick Marshall will be the opposing quarterback for the University of Auburn. For the past 20 years, black college football players have dominated all offensive and defensive positions at predominantly white college football programs. However, the quarterback position has nearly always been occupied by white quarterbacks. The question must now be addressed. Why have black players dominated all positions on the field with the exception of the quarterback position? Why is it now, in 2014, that we see for the first time in history two black quarterbacks playing for a national championship? Has there been a lack of qualified and talented black quarterbacks for the past 20 years? Why have black quarterbacks been absent from these national championship games in the past 20 years? Black players have clearly been present and performed outstanding in all other positions at these national contests. Years ago, a noted football commentator explained why we do not see black quarterbacks on the field as frequent as we see black players in other positions. On a national television broadcast, a noted celebrity football broadcaster named Jimmy the Greek stated that blacks do not have the mental capacity to play quarterback. Does Jimmy's assessment account for the absence of black quarterbacks? For the past 20 years, have black quarterbacks failed to demonstrate those skills necessary to earn a starting position when competing against their white teammates, or is something more insidious responsible for their absence? 40 years after passage of the Civil Rights Act, predominantly white college football programs have yet to overcome Jimmy the Greek's assessment. 40 years, and this is the first appearance of two black quarterbacks in a BCS national championship. Florida State's Jamison and Auburn's Marshall are not the first outstanding black quarterbacks to compete at predominantly white college football programs. They are merely two that have been allowed to play. They have excelled in spite of institutional opposition. There have been hundreds of black quarterbacks far greater than these two exceptionally talented young men who will play on Monday night. However, most black quarterbacks have been subjugated and unjustly denied the opportunity to occupy the sacred position of quarterback just because they are African Americans. Freddie Solomon, who played for the University of Tampa, would have been known as the Muhammad Ali of football and all quarterbacks that ever played the game. However, Freddie Solomon was denied the opportunity to play quarterback in the NFL simply because he was a black man and the league was not ready for colored quarterbacks. Solomon, nicknamed the Ghost, was the fastest man in the NFL with an arm as accurate as Joe Namath, was overlooked for a far inferior old white quarterback named Bob Greasy. Unlike Muhammad Ali and Usain Bolt, whose talent was judged on their individual performance, Freddie Solomon was not deprived of playing quarterback based upon his unquestionable talent, but upon the color of his skin. Again, Wayne Stanley, the country's #1 quarterback in 1976, like Freddie Solomon, was denied the opportunity to compete for the quarterback position in the NFL against his white counterpart Lynn Dickey and moved to split end. Again, Cam Newton sat on the bench at the University of Florida behind Tim Tebow, but transferred to the University of Auburn during his senior year and in only 1 year of play won a BCS National Championship and now starts as quarterback in the NFL. However, despite the unspoken NFL affirmative action policy to provide opportunities for white quarterbacks, Tebow is no longer competing in the NFL. For the last 5 years at Georgia State University, Kelton Hill, a black quarterback with skills that would have gained him honors for Heisman consideration, was denied the opportunity to compete for the quarterback position in full view of his demonstrated superiority. The position was simply reserved for his white counterpart who quit the team after 1 year. Also, Star Jackson, Florida's most outstanding high school quarterback, who happened to be black, was denied the opportunity to compete against a non-mobile A.J. McCarron at the University of Alabama. Imagine what Star Jackson could have accomplished when considering what a lesser talented McCarron accomplished. The list is endless. For the past 20 years, predominantly white football programs that have played in BCS National Championship games started black players in nearly every position, if not all positions. However, this has not been the case when you look at the quarterback position that is invariably occupied by a white player. The question is, why? The answer can only be one of two reasons. One, as the infamous Jimmy the Greek stated, black men do not have the mental capacity and intelligence to play quarterback. Or two, predominantly white football programs have engaged in the insidious racial discrimination and subjugation of black quarterbacks. You choose the correct above answer. I choose the latter. There is no other reasonable explanation that can be given to explain the absence of black quarterbacks in BCS National Championship games during the last 20 years. The dominance of black players in all other positions attests to the fact that something other than natural ability is responsible for the absence of black quarterbacks in these BCS championship contests. Just a little something for you to think about as you watch this BCS National Championship football game. Realize that these two teams playing for the BCS National Football Championship are composed of predominantly all black football players. In effect, they are two black football teams. What you are in fact watching is two HBCU teams that have been removed from predominantly black colleges and universities and now generate billions of dollars for the exclusive economic benefit of white universities. Lastly, as you watch the game Monday night, listen to the television announcers and observe how they question the ability of these black quarterbacks. Listen to the enthusiasm you do not hear and adjectives that describe in heroic fashion the superior abilities and unprecedented performances of these young black quarterbacks. Monday night is not a happy moment for white supremacists. Remember, Listen closely. A time to think, a time to question, a time to confront. College football is not just a game played by children, but a big business and big money. The time is now, and what must be done?